What up, fellow nerds, and welcome to another review of Not Your Status Quo's look at The Mandalorian.
Chapter 5. What is the name of this episode?
The Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger. And remember, if you like what you see here, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos.
And while you're at it, share it with all of your friends. They will like you more because of it.
Absolutely. Alright, so this was Chapter 5 of The Mandalorian, The Gunslinger.
Starts out, a little space battle going on. Mando's being pursued by another bounty hunter. He makes a nice little move, escapes. You know,
Well, a Top Gun move where you put on the brakes and let him go by.
That was pretty badass, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely showing his skills as a pilot, you know.
And
So that's pretty cool.
And you definitely see the computer systems are very Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yep.
I think that was done on purpose, or they're very old ships. You know, I don't know at this point.
It was a long time ago in a galaxy far away. So.
And they're a ragtag band of Mandalorians who don't have a planet, so, you know, they grab them what they can.
Mm-hmm.
True. But unfortunately, his ship is damaged.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got to land, and unfortunately, the only place nearby is a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
So
Mos
he finally heads to Tatooine after all the times that we've been guessing, okay, is this desert planet Tatooine? Okay, what about this desert planet? Is this one Tatooine? He's finally landed on Tatooine with all of its glorious two suns.
He finds a hangar to land at. You know, Amy Sedaris is there to help him with her little Phantom Menace robots to fix his ship, but he doesn't have any money, so hey, he needs to go out into the world, put himself out there, and find some work. So where does he head to? The cantina from A New Hope.
Which looks phenomenal.
Oh,
I think they did a great job. I'm bringing it back. It was just a little bit less crowded than it was.
Yeah, and we noticed something else. So in A New Hope, they specifically say when 3PO goes in there, he says, "No droids, we don't serve their kind here." And Luke has to tell him to go stand out by the speeder. And now we, as he's entering the cantina, we see that it is being operated by droids. So clearly a lot of changes has come to Tatooine ever since, the end of the original trilogy.
Yeah, well, and you had mentioned earlier, why is it so
I think it's because
empty?
the hubs are gone. So the droid mentions that the guild is no longer active. It's no longer working out of Tatooine. So it could be that a lot of the crime has gone down, and a lot of the practices from the guild are gone too.
Well, and we saw on his walk over that scene from the trailer with all the stormtrooper helmets on spikes.
Yeah.
So obviously, Empire's down, the Hutts are dead. There's not a lot to do necessarily on Tatooine, you know.
You can
So
go get your moisture vaporizers and do what you got to do. You know, you're not going to get any interference.
and while Mando's looking for work, an aspiring bounty hunter, very much Han Solo-esque.
Absolutely. So he's sitting in the same booth, and he's got his feet propped up on the table, exactly like Han Solo. So definitely
He's
a
kind of
callback.
dressed like him, just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. He's kind of got that snarky look in his face, like he knows he's like God's gift to Tatooine.
What's his name? Boca Raton or something like that?
No, it's a Torah Calcatan or something.
Calcatan.
Yeah. You know, but the funny thing is, you know, he agrees to finally help him as long as he keeps the money, because he just wants this to get into the guild. Mando needs the money. It's a perfect team up. He tells him to get some speeder bikes. When he comes back, I like the line too. He's like, well, we're not on Corellia, which was Han Solo's home planet. So another reference to Han Solo. You know, they take off. They're traveling. They have to make a deal with some Tusken Raiders.
Right. Oh, I love that, by the way. So the Mandalorian speaks Tusken Raider, I guess, which seems to be a couple of hand movements and everything. Yeah, it's kind of like a sign language, basically. So he's able to communicate with them, which was interesting. And in order to allow them to pass, they want the binoculars. And it was just hilarious how the Mandalorian looks over to the guy, and he was like, "You still got those binocs on you?" He says, "Yeah." Hands him over to the Tusken Raiders. He goes, "Those were brand new." He goes, "That's right, they were." I love him. And Dave was saying earlier, they got the perfect guy to play the voice of the Mandalorian. It really is good.
Yeah, and this guy, this character, he has, he's trying to get into the guild, but he's clearly has no skills at all. He has no perception of what's around him.
He has some skills, but
Well,
we'll
they
get to
get
that
there.
a little bit more later.
Well, they're sitting there on the speeder bikes, and the sand people are right there next to him.
Oh, right.
And he didn't even notice. He's just like,
well, they always, whenever you're looking through binoculars,
somebody always sneaks up
Tusken Raider sneaks up.
That's right. Yes, that's true.
We didn't have Obi-Wan to come do the cat dragon call to scare them off. Right. They're startled easy, but they'll be back.
So that's why he gave them to him, so they can sneak up on anybody now.
Yeah.
They throw it to him, and then they just sneak up.
Right, yeah, so they can sneak up on the Tusken
Raiders. That's their
secret
weapon. So they get through the Tusken Raider land. They find a dewback carrying another bounty hunter.
Dewback.
You know, Mando sees the bounty little...
The fob, yeah.
Fob, yeah, the bounty fob. He knows she's close. She starts shooting him. He gets shot twice by her. Thankfully, the Beskar steel is holding up.
Yes, oh man, that was rough. He gets hit what looks like pretty hard, but clearly that Beskar steel is some strong material. So it was good that he was able to make it out of that.
Well, she does have the high ground.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right.
So you gotta wait until night.
Have the high ground.
And they decide at night they're going to be riding at her with their speed on the speeder bikes and using some flash bombs.
Yeah, that was a great idea, by the way. So he mentions that by alternating these flashes, that it'll make it so she can't really see. And that is absolutely true. For anybody who's used any of these night vision scopes, if you see any sort of light flash into them, yeah, you're totally blinded. So, yeah, that's totally out of reality. That's very true, and great idea, great plan. It almost works.
Yeah, she still managed to hit him in the chest plate.
Well, she knocks him off the speeder bike again, and we've talked about this before. Mando loses a lot.
Yes, he does. He's
very
not overpowered.
No. It reminds me of Daredevil.
Yeah.
When you watch the Daredevil Netflix series, he would end up winning, but he would take a beating during it. And I see a lot, they're not making him like Steven Seagal, where he just takes everyone out without taking any damage. He really...
While he's lumbering along.
Yeah. He takes his licks, and he knew that his plan, someone could go out. Mm-hmm. It was kind of lucky she hit him, because it would have killed the other guy. He got up, was fighting with her, was getting beaten up by the wonderful Min-Na Wen, who's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Unfortunately, she won't be back. We did say this is spoilers. Mm-hmm. And after they capture her, they don't really have enough people to ride back, so Mando goes to look for the dewback that they saw earlier.
Right. Wait, these are spoilers? I thought this was all predictions.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing if Keith was able to predict every single beat by beat of this episode.
Yeah, and then we got the little stuff on the outside. We could write the show ourselves, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe not. It's good the way it is. Let's not ruin it.
Okay.
But yeah, so like what Keith was saying is they now only have one speeder because as he was mentioning, his got shot up from her sniper, which he does mention, by the way, was altered in some way to make it even more powerful, which is kind of neat. But yeah, so he just after a little bit of arguing back and forth, he decides he's going to go back and he's going to get the dewback and bring it to pick them all up, and then they're gonna carry on.
And while he's gone, obviously this assassin starts talking to him and you don't even know what you have, because she had hinted when she saw Mando.
The planet Navarro.
Yeah, what happened on the planet Navarro? She let Mando know. I know your secret, bud. Of course, Green, the Green bounty hunter.
He apparently has never heard of this.
Shucks, I done got me a bounty.
So he's thinking in his head, because she mentions that, his armor alone would be worth more, and he's like, I don't care about the money. She's like, no, you're not getting it. He's wanted. What? Really?
Well, and then the thing that puts it over the top is she goes, yeah, and he kept, his bounty or whatever he escaped with. Some say it's a child.
So he had seen, finally.
Yeah, he had seen Baby Yoda with Amy Sedaris at the beginning, and I think that's when it really clicked. And then taking her advice, which was very wise, when she said, just look after yourself, make sure, he blasts her.
Oh, yeah. And he was very quick, which I think goes into our title for this chapter, The Gunslinger. Because, man, he whipped that pistol and shot her so quick. And I think that was the first slick move that he actually pulled this entire episode.
Yeah, and I think, as much as he was kind of an annoying sort of green, bounty hunter, and he didn't know a lot, he at least had some skills.
Yes.
no character is overly powered in this, and no character is Jar Jar Binks, where they just fumble through life and get this done. They do a great job of rounding everybody out.
Well, now that you've said that, the next episode is going to have Jar Jar's cousin.
As long as it's a Sith. Fennec is also extremely talented. There's no way she would have been an assassin for the Hutts and everything else if she didn't have some skills. I mean, she shot a dude riding a speeder bike when they were throwing up flares. She took advantage. She beat down the green bounty hunter there at that one point. She definitely had skills. Everyone is so well rounded in this, and everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. And one of the Mandalorians that Doug was talking about earlier is because his honor, he makes friends everywhere he goes, and he's going to probably need these friends whenever someone catches up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. So he does have somebody that he can go back to with each one of these planets. He's got our good friend I Have Spoken. He's got this whole tribe of people that he just saved in the last episode.
And Cara Dune.
Yep, absolutely.
Former shock trooper. Then after he shoots Fennec, he takes the speeder bike back. He gets Baby Yoda and captures Amy Sedaris' character.
Holding him hostage, which, I mean, come on, man. Don't do that. That's just going to piss him off.
You're just playing with your life.
Right?
Well, and it shows, once again, a lot of these, this is so based off samurai movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have any honor, things are going to go bad for you. And he showed that he didn't have honor, and I think that's when things went bad for him, where the Mandalorian always does the honorable, does the right thing. Sometimes he has to be persuaded.
If he makes a deal, he sticks to it.
Yeah,
you know what? You bring up a good point. Yeah, we were saying when we were first starting to review this that you could tell that they pulled a lot from spaghetti western movies and shows and stuff, and we're starting to see that they also have a lot of input from these old samurai flicks as well. It's like this weird hybrid mix of them in space. It's cool. I like it. I like the way it's working out.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And then obviously he's holding him hostage. Mando throws off a flash grenade. Shoots him,
So he used it. You'd think our green fellow would have remembered this, but he gets him. He's able to distract him just long enough to get in a shot. They immediately, him and Amy Sedaris are immediately rushing over to try and make sure that Baby Yoda is okay, since since he fell with him. And they go and they're like, where is he? And then he just comes over cooing and reaching up. Okay, hold me.
Dave made a great point. He wants to see Baby Yoda with a little cane. The sooner he gets it, the better off we're all going to be.
If he came around the corner, instead of just looking, and if he came out hey man, what's up? With a cane, that would have been awesome.
If it could be a cane that turns into a lightsaber.
A
little mini toddler lightsaber.
Yeah. Who knows at what age did they lose their manual dexterity in their legs? That species. He's only 50 years old out of probably 1,000 or whatever. Yeah. He could already be losing his he can't walk anymore.
Could be.
He needs the cane.
Yeah.
A walker, maybe.
A little walker. God.
Well, he's got the little floating chair.
Yeah. Why isn't he in that all the time?
He needs to walk a little bit. But, Mando takes the money off the green bounty hunter, gives it to Amy Sedaris to pay
dumps
for
all of it in her hand. That was good. And Dave made a comment. He goes, well, that's probably to make sure that she stays quiet. So he's not only ensuring that he's paying for all the damages that she repaired on his ship, making sure that he remains friends with her. But, yeah, I think what Dave is correct. I think he's making sure that she doesn't give away the information that he was there. And then we get another little Easter egg. She tells the droids to take the body to, what was it again?
Beggar's Canyon.
Beggar's Canyon, right.
Where womp rats are from.
Well, you know what? I thought about that. At first I laughed, and I was like, oh, that's a nice little callback to A New Hope and Luke. Then I started, Beggar's Canyon. That just sounds like a place you dump a dead body.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You just see people dragging a bunch of dead bodies out
Bring
there.
out your dead.
Right. I can just see him, I can just see the droid walking up. Oh, you only have one today, huh? Yeah, I got 3. The canyon's just going to be full of bones and bodies. Canyon's getting full again.
Well, that's where the Rancors live. They eat all the bodies.
There
so
you go.
You keep them from attacking the civilized areas by throwing your dead bodies there. And then, at the end, this has probably gotten more talk. I mean, this show is one of the top stream shows of all time, but this end scene really got people talking and blew the internet up Friday night. You see some spurs jangling and a cape, and it walks over to the body of Fennec, sees that it's dead, and then it shuts off.
Right. So the
Keith's
internet,
got his theories. We've got our theories.
The internet and Keith alike think that it is most likely Boba Fett, and everybody would love to see that.
It would be awesome.
It would be awesome, and it could very well be that, because we do hear that, like what Keith says, that spur sound, and that excuse me, that was the same sound that you would hear accompanying Boba Fett when he was on Cloud City. So whenever you would hear him walking, that sound accompanied his footsteps. So it is possible that is, and that he has been on Tatooine this whole time, just waiting to get back into the game or something.
Getting out of the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, it could be. It could very well be that he survived that.
But I mean, they're gonna have to. If that's him, they're gonna really have to explain that because he's supposed to be digesting for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Well, if he's out, I'm sure he escaped using his jetpack and his rocket.
His little
he has not been pooped out the other side.
The planet was done with him.
Yeah. So
that Mandalorian armor carried him through. I'm sure.
So my theory is that it is actually Mando's former guild leader. And I think that he's going to be the big bad in the end because he did survive having the Beskar in his under his cloak when Mando shot him. And I think he's probably been tracking him down to get revenge on him and also to get that mark.
But he's the guild leader. He would send people after him. He wouldn't necessarily go after him himself.
I don't know.
Well, he did. He did go after him himself when he got on his ship.
Yeah, but he didn't leave the planet. I think he knows how good the Mando is, and he wouldn't go after him. He would send other people. And I think, supposedly, Boba Fett was the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy at the time of Empire Strikes Back and all that. I think it's going to be Boba Fett, only because I think they're going to show just why he got this reputation as the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. I do think, they set up a lot of things to make you doubt it. It's on Tatooine, where he got swallowed by the Sarlacc, but enough to also think that maybe it is him. Maybe this is the guild leader going, hey, to get Mando, I got to get the best of the best. And we know Boba Fett's still out there, and we're going to contact him and get him to go. But once again, we don't know for sure. We will find out.
Hey, you know what? Put it in the comments below. Who do you think it is that appeared at the very end of that episode? Put it in the comments, let us know, and we'll respond.
Yeah, and we'll know more next week when we review episode 6. Can't wait to talk to y'all about it.
Absolutely.